Question 22. After researching the diets of several birds inhabiting a nearby pond, a student goes on a field investigation to observe the feeding habits of the birds. The student records information from research and observations in the data table. So the student's looking at the great blue heron, the mallard duck, the pied-billed grebe, which is also a type of duck, and the great egrets. These two are the big white birds you see along bayous and edges of water, maybe even close to the retention pond on times, but they're big, large white birds. Okay, so they're looking at feeding habits and their diets. And before we read all this, we need to kind of see what are we getting at here. So let's see. The student observes a great blue heron catching fish near the edge of a pond. Okay. Based on the information the student collected, which bird will compete with the great blue heron for the same hunting spots, so, and similar play? So where and what do they have in common? So first let's focus on our great blue heron, since that's who we're comparing to. So if you look at the great blue heron, it says they usually stand still in the water near the edge of a pond, striking quickly at prey with its sharp beak. So usually near the edge of a pond or along the bayous, things like that. So they like fish, amphibians like frogs and things like that, reptiles, insects, small mammals, and small birds. The mallard duck, see, these two would probably be in competition, but let's see. They tip down to feed on underwater plants and seeds. Okay, so that's not what we're doing. We're standing near the edge, but it says it picks up small prey and bits of food near the edge of the pond as well. Okay, but it doesn't stand there. It picks up food there, but it likes plants, larvae, seeds, worms. So it likes a lot of small things, whereas this large great blue heron likes a lot of larger organisms. You can see that when it eats small mammals and small birds. Okay. The duck, the pied-billed grebe duck, dives in open water to find food on the bottom of the pond, so it's a bottom feeder. Likes fish, crawfish, and insects. Those are all things this likes too, but they're definitely not competing along this in the same area. This one's in the pond trying to get to the bottom. This one's just on the edge trying to get to what it can by walking or wading. Alright, so let's see the great egret. It wades or stands still in the water near the edge of the pond to hunt. So both of these guys really like it along the side of the pond. Aquatic invertebrates, and I'm going to tell you, just like crawfish and things like that, which both of these happen to like, or even toads. Small fish, insects, there you go, amphibians, and reptiles. So they have a very similar diet. So these two are definitely in competition, not just for the similar food, but also they compete in similar locations. So it had to match where and what. So the great egret, because it hunts in the water near the edge of the pond for fish and other prey. That sounds good. The mallard, no, we got rid of both the pied-billed grebe and the mallard, the two ducks. And none of these is incorrect. We can go with answer choice F.